What if the public craves and demands that your next fight is David Benavidez? You open to doing that?
Stephen A. Smith has once again lit up the boxing world with his fiery take. This time his sharp warning isn't aimed at just anyone he's locked straight on the sport's biggest. Superstar Canelo Alvarez.
I'm looking at Canelo and I'm like, yo, you that dude. You that dude. Why are you not fighting? It'll be one thing to avoid it for a fight or two. But when you are literally cherry picking one after another, numerous fights where you are passing up David Benavidez, it is a travesty. It is a travesty that that fight has not happened. David Benavidez deserves the shot at the giant. He deserves that shot, and he should get it.
At the center of his warning stands none other than David Benavidez, the undefeated powerhouse. Dubbed the Mexican Monster, for Canelo this isn't just another name on the list. As Stephen stresses, this showdown could define his legacy or completely derail it.
That's just BS. Anybody who knows boxing, everybody who watches boxing knows that David Benavidez is the real deal. Now that doesn't mean he'd beat you, because anybody could fall if you catch him right. We know who you are, Canelo, you big time. But you get ready to fight and go, look, you are elite, you are big time, no doubt about that. But it is clear with what you're saying that you are ducking Benavidez, not because you haven't fight him, but because of the words that you're using. He's nothing, you know better. Fight that man. David Benavidez deserves that. Anybody who respects boxing knows he should be the man in the ring going up against you.
Canelo's decade-long aura of invincibility came crashing down. The fighter once viewed as untouchable finally tasted defeat. That stunning upset shook the boxing world to its career reminder. That sharp skill can topple even raw power.
What does this mean for Canelo? You lost to Floyd.
You did. You
lost to Bivol. I don't care anyone says you lost to Golovkin. You lost to Terence Crawford. So you've lost to
the elite.
The elite.
I think it shows that Canelo is the elite, but he's not the special elite.
Okay.
I think we can use that word because there's elite, because Canelo Alvarez is elite. You can be world level, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're fighting Canelo with different.
Yeah.
But then there's the special elite.
Yeah.
There's the very, where you look at them and you think, I'm watching something special in Canelo, but I'm watching something very special in Floyd, Golovkin, Terence Crawford, and Bivol, our guy. That just shows how good Beterbiev is as well. We got two special fighters at 175.
No, for real. I don't think it hinders Canelo as much.
I don't think it does.
But in terms of, I guess there was a conversation about is he the greatest Mexican? I think that's Chavez now.
Yes.
I think that's kind of done.
But Crawford's triumph wasn't only about cementing his own legacy. In the process, peeled back the curtain and revealed the biggest weakness in Canelo's armor.
One of the things that I see, okay, from Canelo is that when you move to his weak side, there's exposure on that side from him, okay? When you get around to the weak side, meaning his lead hand side, okay, he has to turn all the way around, and it takes him some time because of his footwork, okay? His footwork isn't the greatest. Crawford will be able to take advantage of those moments. But as the fight continues, I'm telling you right now, Crawford will start to mount an attack if he's still there. If he's still there after 4 damn rounds.
You know, that's saying something. Tim Bradley, that is saying something. If he's still there. Does Tim actually believe that Canelo has that amount of power or the difference of weight to take out Crawford in 4 rounds? I don't think so. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But if he's still there, Timothy Bradley, that's a lot. That's saying a lot.
He will start to mount an attack. He will. And we know that later on, we know that Canelo starts to fade late. Okay? And an indication of frustration from Canelo Alvarez is when he starts to drop both hands. When he stops getting out of that, when he stops using that high guard, okay? That's one indication when Canelo is like, okay, this isn't working. All right, let me try something else. Let me drop my hands. Let me see if I can get this guy to throw shots at me or something to change things up. Another indication that things are not going nowhere, if you see Canelo not well, you see Canelo sit along the ropes and he'll bite Crawford in, okay? If it ever gets to that point right there, then you know that Crawford is doing a damn good job. But for the time being, Crawford's gonna have to let those damn hands go.
We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
In the aftermath, analysts agreed Crawford had drawn the perfect blueprint to dethrone the king. Not with sheer power, but with blazing speed, cleaver footwork, and a razor-sharp jab. That dismantled Canelo's rhythm from start to finish.
It makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you I told you so.
I told you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. The fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy.
He just played with Canelo, made him look silly. And before you start with your shit about Canelo being old, just know that Crawford is older.
I'm too old.
That's not an excuse here.
This blueprint exposed Canelo's vulnerabilities to a fast-paced attack. As the world celebrated Crawford's historic win, another figure watched from the shadows, completely vindicated.
I feel like he ducking Benavidez. I don't know if y'all heard, but y'all see all the money he got offered for that shit. Like, he got offered a lot of money for that fight.
How much? I heard it was something like a 90-10 split.
Yeah, it was like Benavidez would take $5 million and he'd get like 40 or I don't know if it was 40 or 80 million. It was something crazy though. But you turn that down and bro, 5 million to what you get. I'm gonna say it's 40 million, right? You taking 40 and he getting 5 and you don't want to fight him, you're fucking scared. I don't care what nobody says, like you're fucking scared. Because even if I know I'm gonna lose, if in my head I know this dude can beat me, I'm getting 50 mil for this fight. Bro, I've been on top for a long time already. I'm not getting no younger. Take the fucking fight, make it, you feel me? Fight. That's what you're doing this shit for. What the fuck are you scared of?
That blueprint revealed Canelo's struggles against a high-speed assault. And while the world cheered Crawford's historic triumph, own man quietly observed. From the shadows, feeling entirely vindicated.
I had Canelo just domination. I was hurt, I ain't gonna lie, because I've been a fan of Canelo since I was a kid. So my heart, a tear almost came on my eye, I ain't gonna lie, because it felt like, you know, that Canelo is done. But I just think he was a little off that night. I think he can, you know, make a big comeback. But to Crawford, man, he's the greatest of this era. You gotta give it to him, greatest of this era. Nobody's ever done that before, 3-time undisputed. So you gotta take your hats off to Crawford. And I was just shocked that he was able to just dismantle Canelo like that. You know, even with the size difference. That just goes to show size doesn't win fight.
Huge David Benavidez fan. I love Canelo as well, but I don't like the fact that Canelo has taken so long to give him a match. And I just applaud David Benavidez because he ducks no one. What's up? I just applaud the fact that he ducks no one. And he's ready to fight at all times. He is the Mexican monster. Sometimes I'm wondering, is somebody going to hurt him because he's right there in front of them. He doesn't move, but he clearly shows he can take a punch and he can damn sure give one with either hand. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got boxing ability, he's got heart. And I don't know if there's a bigger fan of David Benavidez than me. I really I got a lot of love for his skills.
David Benavidez is cut from a very different cloth. He's got lightning-fast hands of his own, but unlike Crawford, fuses that speed with relentless, suffocating pressure that only a man of his size can bring.
I want to whoop David Benavidez's ass. Look, I'm going to be the first one to ever call this person out. I want to fight Benavidez.
Get out of here, bro.
I want to fight Benavidez.
You're crazy, dude.
No.
Which Benavidez?
David.
Jose?
David. I want to fight David Benavidez.
What?
Yeah, bro. Mexican monster, man. They call me the boogeyman over here.
You're not serious, obviously.
I'm being serious.
You're being serious?
Yeah, yeah.
You want to move up to light heavyweight to fight David Benavidez?
Yeah. Well, you think he's going to make 68?
David at 168? Yeah. So that, okay, now we're starting to formulate things. So you want him to come to 68 and you'll go to 68?
Yeah, I'll go 68. I'll fight him at 68. Yeah. I want to fight the Mexican monster. Boo. Scary face. Roar.
strategy Crawford designed with finest Benavidez could unleash, with Raw punishing Force turning those same openings into fight-ending damage. For years, David Benavidez lingered like a monster in the shadows ghost Canelo never wanted to face. He stood as an undefeated two-time champion in Canelo's very own division, a natural powerhouse, who kept getting ignored and sidestepped.
For some reason, he's hiding. Can't find him. So if somebody sees Canelo, let him know that, they send him an email and they give him the biggest offer of his life. So we're here waiting to see if he wants to make it happen with the person that he said that hasn't fought nobody. He has not done anything in boxing. It should be an easy fight. Why not take all that money? But I'm guessing he's going to go the easy route. He's going to probably fight Berlanga, McGregor or something like that. So, man, that's a disgrace, for boxing. It's embarrassing, when he said that David hasn't fought nobody, and then he's going to fight Berlanga, that he got let go from Top Rank because they were losing money on him and they didn't really see a big future for him.
Canelo's defeat at the hands of a smaller opponent became the ultimate "I told you so" for Benavidez and his camp. It validated their long-standing claim that Canelo had been sidestepping the real physical threats. At 168 pounds, the king wasn't toppled by a bigger man but by a quicker one, leaving fans to imagine the havoc a relentless pressure fighter like Benavidez with his size and power could unleash.
I'm tired of missing out on these fights. And I want the boxing community, because y'all cover it more than me, you cover it better than me, because you live it and breathe it and eat it every day. Could you help a brother out? How much help can I give y'all to help put pressure on these promoters to give us the damn fights we want to see? I want Canelo versus Benavidez. I don't want Benavidez fighting Beterbiev. I want him fighting his natural weight class, super middleweight, against Saul Canelo Alvarez. That is the fight we should all be demanding. That brother has earned a shot. And I understand Canelo, the businessman. He's like, he had to go through a lot and had to fight through everybody before he got on the top of the mountain where he could dictate terms. I totally understand that, and I'm not throwing no shade on Canelo. I'm just saying, we want to see this fight, especially if Benavidez handles his business this weekend. Canelo, we deserve to see that fight.
And leading the chorus louder than anyone else was Stephen A. Smith, never shy to say exactly what others only whisper.
There are very few things that piss me off, contrary to what you would normally believe. But I love the sport of boxing. And I gotta tell you, I'm so disgusted. They're just rumors that Canelo Alvarez, Saul Canelo Alvarez, is talking about fighting the bigger Charlo this time around, Jamal Charlo, the natural 168 pounder, okay? I'm like, what about David Benavidez, the natural super middleweight, who's 28-0 with 24 knockouts, who's been begging for Canelo to get into the ring with him? It really, really ticks me off.
For years, many brushed off his warnings as nothing more than media hype. Yet in national television, Stephen A. had hammered the same point. Canelo's refusal to face Benavidez would one day haunt him. He cautioned that chasing smaller stylistic matchups while sidestepping the most dangerous threat in his own division was a reckless gamble. And now, after the Crawford fight, host's words no longer felt like opinions, these sounded like prophecy.
This is the stuff that's driving me crazy about boxing. Canelo Alvarez, where's the fight against David Benavidez? Love Canelo. I want to see him fight David Benavidez. I don't want to see him fighting Munguia. I don't want to see him fighting an undersized Charlo. I don't want to hear about Terrence Crawford moving up not one, not two, but 3 weight classes to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez. I want the fights that we want to see when we want to see him. You're the super middleweight champion of the world at 168 pounds. It's about the fights that we want to see. I think that Canelo should fight David Benavidez or Jamal Charlo. Okay, now Charlo might be a little bit too small for him since he moved up to light heavyweight to do this fight, and I don't see him fighting too much at the super middleweight division, but I'm tired of this guy being unblemished in his career, and these big fights Charlo is not getting. He deserves them. He should have them if he wants them, even if I wouldn't pick him against Canelo. He deserves the shot if that's what he wants. But this kid, David Benavidez, is special. And if there's a person that has earned the right to be in the ring against Canelo Alvarez, which would be absolutely positively box office, that would be a fight everybody would want to see. There is no reason
What's first take go?
for him. Hell yes.
Okay.
I want to go there. For Benavidez, Benavidez is the real deal. I love Benavidez, and I want to see, and he deserves a fight of this magnitude as well.
What began as analysis soon turned into a scathing post-mortem. Stephen A. argued that this loss was the price of Canelo's hubris, a form of karma, for dodging the very fight the world demanded. The warnings had been sounded ignorant, now the fallout was visible for all to see. On national television, Stephen A.'s outrage became must-watch drama. This isn't just boxing talk, this is a public prosecution. I'm pissed off, thundered his voice shaking with real anger. And the stage wasn't some small boxing forum, it was ESPN's crown jewel First Take.
What if the public craves and demands that your next fight is David Benavidez? You open to doing that?
We'll see. Why not? If the money is correct, why not? I can fight him Saturday night too.
Saturday night too. So you think you think you'll beat him up too? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, of course. I beat that guy. If the money is the money is that correct? I fight that guy and I beat that guy the same night. I don't care.
That platform ripped the controversy out of boxing's inner circle and hurled it into the mainstream, putting Canelo's entire legacy on trial before millions of viewers. To Stephen A., Canelo's avoidance wasn't just a career decision, it was an insult to the sport. Benavidez had earned his shot, and this was the one fight that truly carried the weight of boxing's credibility.
You can run, but you can't hide. People want that fight. Everywhere you go, they see Canelo, they ask him about the Mexican Monster. Everywhere I go, they ask me about Canelo. They want to see that fight. So that name of David Benavidez, he's not going to be able to go to sleep until he fights David Benavidez. And that's a little thing that he just needs to take care of in order to make history. And if he doesn't do that, there's always going to be that doubt.
While Stephen A. was driving the media storm, fire burned even hotter inside Benavidez's own camp. His father and trainer Jose Benavidez Sr. unleashed a barrage of raw and apologetic interviews, never sugarcoating a single word.
He came to watch me, the fight and shit. And then they're like, oh, you think he's... In my head, I'm like, what do you think Eddie Reynoso's thinking about? So are we going to fight David Benavidez after seeing this fight? In his head, Eddie Reynoso's like, fuck no, we're not fighting him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, honestly, I don't blame Canelo. It's fucked up because there's a lot of money.
It's not even about the money. It's not about the money.
Yeah, but okay, 100 million, dude. You kidding me?
The first step when you're a fucking warrior, bro, the only thing you think about is glory. I've never thought about money. I've been smart, I'm negotiating my shit. But it's always a prize, bro. It's always, if I go out there and beat Canelo, bro, I'm a legend. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna live forever in boxing as a legend. That means way more to me than any type of.
Yeah, and I think that separates you too, David. And I admire that shit about you. I was like that at one point.
Yeah.
How much you give me?
Yeah.
and not to just bypass him. Shout out to Morrell as well.
Yeah, shout out to
Morrell. While David kept his tone respectful, his father stepped into the role of the aggressor, accusing Canelo of being afraid and ducking a guaranteed defeat. He declared that Canelo knows deep down his son is the big too strong and would break him. These fear-emotional strikes turned the debate into a personal feud, fueling the media firestorm and creating a two-front war of pressure Canelo could no longer avoid.
I think he's getting put into a corner now where he's running out of excuses. He said that the only thing I bring is 25 extra pounds, that I'm not worth nothing, but he's asking 200 million, and now he's gonna fight me the same night. That shit just stupid, bro. Like, just tell the people you don't want to fight. I don't know. I can't talk to you about what his hunger is, or how his training is, or how he feels. I can only speak to you about myself, but for me, it looks like fear. It looks like fear, like it's scary.
Canelo's defeat sent shockwaves through the entire division. The 168-pound classic kingdom he once ruled with an iron fist was suddenly claimed by a man who had climbed up from 147.
That's a counter. That was a great counter, but at the same time, Canelo being great as he is, he was actually rolling with the shot and anticipating coming back with a right hook. You see him roll and then kind of roll the other way. He was anticipating me throwing another shot. It was a great shot, but it was great awareness by Canelo as well.
Canelo suddenly found himself stripped of his belts, leaving a power vacuum. That opened a fascinating and volatile opportunity for David Benavidez. His path now split into chase the new King Terence Crawford, or seize the Titleser, bypass the belts entirely. and go after Canelo himself, a fight that's now about the legacy of the name rather than the crown.
How nowadays, especially particularly in your position, the fact that
Yeah, bro, it's a little hard, you know, just because obviously this is the fight that everybody wants to see. It's the biggest fight in boxing, in my opinion, right now. But it sucks when a guy, as Canelo said, that he can do whatever he wants. He's basically well boxing.
King, yeah, of course, king or prima donna.
Yeah, basically.
This chaos has set the perfect trap. Terence Crawford's smaller man has little reason to remain at 168 and risk defending his new titles against a monster like Benavidez. More likely he'll vacate and return to his natural weight, leaving the super middleweight belts scattered like pieces on the wind. And in that moment, the only fight capable of unifying the division in the eyes of the public, only clash worthy of crowning a true king, would be the showdown fans have demanded for years. Belts or no belts, road points straight to Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez, Canelo with nowhere left to run. And complicating it all is Canelo's binding deal with PBC.
This is what I want to be another time. I think it's a lot of fighters here. They train me really good, and I'm happy to be here.
He has just one fight left on his deal. If he wants to face Benavidez under the same promotional banner, the time is now.
With only one fight left on his deal, the clock is ticking. If he wants to meet Benavidez under the same promotional banner, the moment is now, or it may slip away forever.
Boxing contracts is more of years or more of fights?
Depends on the contract. Look at what Canelo is doing. We're hearing that he signed a three fight contract with PBC. There's no time limit on those 3 fights. If he get injured in his first fight, he can still fight. He can't fight in 2 years. He can't fight under another banner because he's still got 2 fights left with PBC.
Fans have long demanded a Canelo Benavidez showdown on iconic Mexican boxing weekends like Cinco de Mayo or Mexican Independence Day. Benavidez, the current WBC super middleweight interim champion, has already earned his place by beating elite names like Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade. His resume is undeniable. Yet Canelo continued to sidestep him. Now with his undisputed reign shattered and his promotional deal nearing its end, options have narrowed to one. At the post-fight press conference, Canelo carried himself with quiet dignity, but the aura was gone. He was humble, giving Crawford full credit without excuses. This wasn't a king in denial, it was a fallen champion staring at his own legend. And that makes his next move the most critical of his career. He can no longer take soft touches. He cannot afford another hand-picked opponent. The path to redemption is now a trial by fire. Either risk it all in a rematch with Crawford or finally face the monster he's avoided for years. A fight with Benavidez is no longer just another option. It is the only way to prove that his story isn't finished, that his reign isn't truly over. Even the financial game has changed. The mythical $150 to $200 million price tag once attached to Benavidez is gone. Canelo is no longer the unbeatable aside. The leverage has shifted, and now that fight is a reality he can no longer escape. The biggest excuse has been stripped away. This fight is no longer about defending a throne, it's about redemption. A fallen king stripped of pride and glory, facing the challenger he refused during his reign. The warning from voices like Stephen A. Smith is clear. After a loss this devastating, any path that doesn't lead to Benavidez is a path to irrelevance. The question isn't will Canelo fight him? The question is, does he even have another choice left? That's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Who'll Canelo chase Crawford a gainer? Is Benavidez the only road to redemption? We'll catch you in the next one.